Hi. One of the old-time naturopathic therapies actually was begun many decades ago in Europe, but was picked up here by a couple of naturopathic doctors. Dr. Carroll was one of them. Is lymphatic, well, he called it constitutional hydrotherapy, but I've chosen to use the term lymphatic hydrotherapy, even though it does affect many other organs in the body. But it's a very simple yet very effective therapy for helping to drain the lymphatic system, as well as a few other things I'll explain in just a second. Lymphatic system is all of the liquid that is outside of the bloodstream. So in the bloodstream we have white blood cells, red blood cells, other hormones, other sort of, let's call them chemicals in the bloodstream, some of which are coupled to carriers, protein carriers, and they're too large to leave the bloodstream and get into the lymphatic system. Some hormones are uncoupled, what are called free forms, like the free thyroid hormone T4. Because it's unattached from a protein, it can leave the bloodstream. Many toxins in the bloodstream also can leave and go into this fluid, into the lymphatic system. This lymphatic system is what is designed to deliver nutrients to cells, is designed to deliver hormones to cells. So it's like the fluid that bathes all the cells and tissues in our body. But these waste products, these toxic residues, they also get into the lymphatic system. Ideally, what's supposed to happen is that lymph fluid should be like a river, sort of flowing downstream through the rocks and over the waterfall, and finally it's drained back into a couple of sites back into the bloodstream, and once again they're back in the blood and hopefully will be filtered by the liver and excreted through the kidneys, etc. But sometimes these residues become stuck in this lymph fluid and are not drained back into the bloodstream, and sometimes people have very slow lymphatic drainage, especially people that are a bit overweight or people that don't get much activity in their lives. The lymphatic system is partly moved by movement or exercise or motion. When we're lying down at night to sleep, we're in a prone position. It's very easy for that river to kind of run towards these drainage sites back into the bloodstream. So what happens, I think, in part with chronic illness is that the body's burden of these chemicals, that river becomes blocked like a beaver dam is placed, and this swamp becomes swampy and begins to collect all of these residues, and the function of the cells begins to decline because of what is in their surroundings, this sort of concentrated level of toxins in the dam, in the swamp. So lymphatic drainage is very important. It's something also that started, I believe, in Germany, probably about 50 or 60 years ago. So again, we're using hot and cold compresses in what's called a sine wave machine, which is a very gentle electrical stimulation that helps push the lymph fluid out its normal tributaries and draining back into the bloodstream again. I went to visit with one of Dr. Carroll's students, Dr. Harold Dick, and spent about 4 days with him and received the treatments from his employee, and saw many of his clients and was very impressed. That's pretty much all he did. He was a licensed physician, but he did primary lymphatic or constitutional hydrotherapy, made a few alterations with their diet, but that's pretty much all he did. People would call him on the phone, "I want to come see you, how long it's going to be?" He said, "I have no idea how long it's going to take you to detoxify." And he had this technique of listening to the heart for certain rhythms that he would know, okay, this person is fine now because of how the rhythm of the heart was going. So that was one of the times in my life. I was in medical school then. I came back, and I went, another student came back, and we continued the hydrotherapy in the clinic there at the school, and it was really a wonderful, wonderful time. It's great energy, and my mind was really clear. The stress didn't seem to affect me that much. So it's a simple treatment, lasts about 45 or 50 minutes. I've trained 2 other people in my clinic to follow the same protocol as I learned from Dr. Dick, and I think it's, if I had to choose, well, it's a hard time choosing one thing, but I would say the saunas for sure, and also lymphatic hydrotherapy are the 2 most important, besides nutrition of course, 2 most important purification therapies. Because it's almost like this internal wisdom, this innate physician is having to sort of juggle all these balls, and we throw in, another toxin in the system, we throw some stress in, something happens, and I is trying to juggle all these balls, and it's faltering, and we get tired, and we get irritable, and all these things. If we can just kind of grab a few of those balls, saunas and some lymphatic hydrotherapy, and okay, I can feel much more relaxed now. I can deal with a few stresses in my life. I don't feel overwhelmed. So the purification, I believe it is the cornerstone. It is the sort of the source of helping people to recover their health and to once again experience the vitality that they feel like they've lost. Just a matter of it's hidden within. We just have to kind of pull away the veils of these toxins and nourish the body, and that vitality will start to come to the surface again and bubble to the surface, and in the clear stream, in the clear lake, and getting rid of the swamp. All right, thank you.